Voted the best sandwich shop by Fox 11 Television for 3 years in a row. Cavaretta's Deli in Canoga Park, the same owner, 28 years. Go to cavarettasdeli.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Fred Dreyer here. We're talking about Junior Seau, his death, untimely, stunning death, last couple days in San Diego. Head injuries. We were talking about head injuries and the wave of head injuries that has now surfaced in the National Football League. I'm going to talk a little bit about this for the next couple of minutes for this segment, and then we'll drop it, and maybe we'll pick it up later on when the results of Junior's autopsy comes in and they take a look at his brain to find out exactly what they found. But let me just say this: there's a lot of people having comments right now about football players now coming to the forefront, complaining about their head injuries and blaming dementia and Alzheimer's and depression and all these things on football. Well, let me just tell you something. There's a reason Junior Seau killed himself. A healthy brain probably isn't going to allow that. Something was wrong with Junior's brain. You can't play that sport for 20 years. You can't play. I played for 13 years. I know many people who played for 15 and 17 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 years. It doesn't make any difference how long you've played. It's what's happened to you in the meantime. Your brain is under attack every single day when you practice. Every time your head hits the ground, every time someone reaches up and slaps you on the side of the head, every time your head butts into an opposing player. Even when you tackle correctly and fall correctly, your head is rattling around inside your skull. It's the accumulative effect. And I believe, and I've seen this, I've watched football games very closely over the last couple of decades. This is the worst fundamentally tackling league I've ever seen. They don't know how to tackle. Tackling is not taught in college. It's not taught in the professional level. So by the time these guys get to be 20, 25, 23 years of age and making $10 million a year, running around at 280, running a 4.5 40, and banging into people, they don't have a skill or a fundamental technique in which to engage the ball carrier. They just think, I'll run into him and I'll pick out his head because that's the natural spot that we seem to think is fun to beat up on. And that's what they do. There's a lot of helmet-to-helmet contact. They are giving license by this league. And I say license because they're not addressing tackling. You must have a fundamental structure of how to tackle. Otherwise, everything is random. It's open mayhem. You can't have that much disregard for the sport or yourself or your teammate. It's a brotherhood. You don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to, you can play that sport, and I did it. You can play that sport for a long time at a high level and be able, as a defender, as a defensive end, I can decide if I want to bury a quarterback and really hurt him, or a ball carrier, or a receiver. I'm a defender, so I don't have the ball. I'm after the ball. Whoever has it has got a problem with guys like me and guys like Junior Seau and all the defender guys hunting you down to get you on the ground to pull the ball away from you. That's all within the sport of the game. But there's a breakdown in the social moral code. There's a lack of understanding that you're all in this together. You can't possibly allow a coach, Greg Williams, to entice you as a player to hurt somebody else. The sport has evolved now to the point where you've got institutionalized criminality. You've got people now playing that sport that have no business playing the sport under the mindset that they're playing it. And the reason that it's been allowed to go that way is because there's no fundamental structure. You learn how to tackle to protect yourself as well as the ball carrier. You watch football games, I watch it very closely, as I said. You can see very clearly that there's no structure. The whole intent now is to swarm the ball carrier, be it receiver or running back, swarm him, hold him up, while the others jump on him and strip the ball away. Well, that's fine. We all did that too in my day. And I'm not saying that I'm old-fashioned. But I am saying that there's a breakdown in the social moral code. There's a lack of brotherhood. There's a lack of sharing. It's being played by narcissists, selfish people who don't have any history of the sport. They don't have an understanding that when you hurt your brother, you hurt yourself. You hurt the sport. There's a responsibility that's not being looked after. And that's the heartbreak. You know, I'm on the outside. I look into it and I see what they've killed. They've killed the sport. They have beaten the sport into the ground. And what you come out of it is you've come out with hurt people. And the sport has been hurt by it. Go back to the fundamentals. Go back to the structure of being able to organize and tackle correctly, and you might solve some problems.